I don't think I'd call this the big road, Tom.
This is not the big road? Oh. Right now it's working. I guarantee you it's a wet road.
Yeah, I'm not sure about this. I don't know if you've been watching recently, but we've been having a new feature called Truck and Trailer Tuesdays. Have you been seeing any of those?
Oh man, I've been seeing the headlines. I've not had a chance to.
Can you believe that?
What can
you believe that? Today you're not going to have to watch the episode because you are going to be a co-star on it.
Oh no! Oh no!
I have not briefed Tom on this at all, so this is going to be totally off the cuff.
This is scary.
Tom, today we want to talk about CDL Class A licenses.
Okay.
Both you and Randall have a CDL Class A, right?
That's correct.
I don't want to get into like weight requirements and all that kind of stuff. I want to get into more after you've, well, basically what it takes to acquire a CDL and what it takes to maintain it. So tell me about what you had to do to get a CDL.
Well, initially I took a truck driving class from the college, the local college that I went to.
Okay.
In fact, it was one of the very first schools that they had. We had no big trucks or anything back then. That's the only thing we had the only way we had to do it, to make it work.
Okay, but but a user doesn't have to take a course like that, a driving course, right? Or do?
Well, we were able to let Randall have be able to get the hours, I think, here in the truck.
Okay.
And
is there like a set number of driving hours you have to do?
I'll be honest, there is for the for a automobile. Guys, you're putting me on the spot here. I can't say now. We were able to get Randall in, and then he took the driving test. And
so he had some sort of permit that he could drive the truck.
Yeah, he could have a permit. And,
okay. And then there's a written test.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're not easy questions.
Okay.
Oh, you've got to study the book, answer questions right, and then there's also a driving test as well.
Okay. What'd you do in the driving test?
You have to be able to back the trailer.
Okay. Straight?
You can back it straight, yes. You have to figure out which lane to be in when you turn.
Okay.
You got to remember, this has been a while since I've actually had to drive.
Yeah, so you don't have to do the driving repeatedly.
Not repeatedly. To keep it updated, it's to renew your license. It's well, this is coordinated with your automobile license.
Okay.
As well, I mean, if you got a CDL, you're legal to drive a car unless something freaky's going on, you know. You may have to take a paper test sometimes.
Yeah, so like there's additional, they call them endorsements or something, don't they?
And that's with, the CDL part, because you may have an endorsement that's called a tanker, and then there's the main one that has some difficulty to it and some extra studying is the hazardous material endorsement, and you have to stay current with that and keep studying the new different changes that they make in the laws and the rules too.
So after you've got your license the first time, what about other requirements like maintenance and stuff like that as far as maintaining?
And one requirement I did not say is we have to pass a physical.
Okay.
And that physical has to be renewed, and now Illinois is you have to show that you passed a physical before you can renew your license.
Okay, and you have to do that.
And that's done every 2 years.
Every 2 years. So you have to schedule a physical every 2 years. What kind of requirements on that physical? Is it blood pressure requirements and things, or you don't really know?
Vision, major health. They're very concerned about diabetes. There's even getting into some sleep apnea things.
Pretty restrictive on that.
It's restrictive, yes.
Okay, how about drug testing? Do you have to do any drug testing?
We actually are in a drug testing program. Yes, we have to be drug tested and certified, and we are in what we have a random scheduled drug program, which we do through our local trucking association, Midwest Truckers, and Illinois Farm Bureau does it
Okay,
together.
so this is something that if anybody that's got a CDL has to pay to be a part of a group like this, or somehow find a way to be a part of a
to
group?
make it work, yes. Then, and so we are on random. We may get a phone call or any time to meet with the
So then, like within 24 or 48 hours or
well,
something?
they'll be
you have
there
to
within
go?
like 48, I think, at least.
Yeah.
So you don't get very long.
Okay.
Yeah, we are part of the program. Just paid the bill last week.
So do you have to do anything else besides the drug testing, annual maintenance or biannual maintenance or anything? So drug screen.
With our drug screen, that covers most of it, yes.
And then the physical.
And the physical's the main things that we have to do.
Now, folks, we must interrupt this edition of Truck and Trailer Tuesday to state that our high school team is in the second round of the playoffs for the first time ever.
Ever.
Understand, when Tom was in high school, they got beat 77 to nothing in 1977. Or was it 76?
76 to nothing. Fall of 76. The spirit of 76, you know. We celebrate the bicentennial.
And I actually wasn't much celebrating going on that night.
Yeah, I think we scored a touchdown from that year. From defense, picked up a fumble.
Okay, well, we didn't do much better while I was in high school. Of course, neither Tom nor I played.
Yeah,
That was probably made it even better.
Right.
It would have been worse had we
Yeah.
played. Christy, you're in here now.
Yeah. You see, I got done with my duties. I usually help cook. So we're done with lunch, and there's a little while before supper.
Yeah. So one other area I wanted to talk about, Tom, was does it affect your personal license? So you talked a minute ago about how the CDL can act as your personal license. I've heard some people talk about how you get stiffer fines if you get a traffic ticket even in your normal automobile. You know anything about that?
To a certain extent, there are some degrees, yes, that are stiffer fines in truck. Yes, I can't be specific.
Well, what I'm talking about is this one guy said that even if he gets stopped in his passenger car,
then it counts as if he was driving a truck.
yeah.
Yeah.
So there's none of this. We have this opportunity, at least in Indiana, where if you get a traffic ticket, you can, as long as you don't get another in 3 years, it doesn't count against
Right.
you and all that.
Right.
He
Right.
said it immediately counts against you if you have a CDL.
Yes, it does. Yeah. And that's kind of frustrating.
Yeah, that's a pretty big
Of course,
issue.
it gets you, granted, if there's a work issue, then that's a completely.
Yeah, well, yeah. So what else should we consider? A lot of my viewers, and myself included, are kind of trying to avoid a CDL, and
Good
we haven't
plan.
really talked about the weight issues and things. Maybe we'll get to that in a later video, but we've talked about the drug testing, we've talked about the
Well-
medical, we've talked about how it can affect your personal vehicle.
Exactly. Well, you've named off several reasons there now.
Yeah.
And some that if you can't pass the physical, then that's a real hard thing to do to get a CDL. Even if you're just driving it using your CDL just a few miles a year.
Right.
It's one thing if you're more or less a part-time driver. It seems like it's a harder thing than if you are. If you're that's your profession, then sure you need to have all your stuff together.
Yeah.
And you're planning for that.
One of the difficulties of dealing with muddy conditions is finding a way to load the truck. If you'll check it out here, the truck is way over on the edge. And again, this ditch is muddy. So we're taking some risk having the truck in the ditch. This just doesn't look good to me. Guys, that's close. So I think what you're telling me, Tom, is that if I can at all avoid it, I should try to continue to avoid the CDL.
Avoid the CDL if you can. Yes. Yes. It just creates paperwork.
Well, it sounds like
need.
something else to think about and worry about when there's already plenty of things to think about and worry about in our business.
If you don't have to have it, I would recommend against it. And there are vehicles that are designed to maximize what do you call it? The below CDL requirements.
Yeah. I think what we're learning from this video is it is worthwhile to try to avoid it.
If you can at all. Yes. Yes, it is.
Well, thanks for watching, everybody, and thanks, Tom, for giving us some insight on what it's really like to have one and the pluses and minuses. And we'll see you next time on Tractor Time with Tim. Remember last year's video? The little switch broke on the old moisture tester? Well, bad news. Tom decided to try to replace the switch, and he put the new switch in and somehow blew up the whole tester with the new switch. Welcome to the brave new world.